Why is Porco a pig? Answer to why is Porco a pig, and did he turn back into a human? Here we go. Here you see Porco before his first dogfight with Curtis, after he has kicked the Mama Yuto's ass in the beginning. The next day, he goes to the city and talks with the bank clerk. The clerk asks, "How about helping the people out with a Patriot bond?" And he replies, "Do I look like a person?" Hey, the voice was different, but I kind of got the intonation right. Not a bad impression. So he says, "Do I look like a person?" in this scene. This line represents him looking down on people. So Porco is not forced to live as a pig. He decided to be one. Pigs are so much better than humans. That's what Porco thinks, and so does Miyazaki. He thinks that pigs are way better than any people in Italy or around the Adriatic Sea in those days. Everyone was so much worse than pigs. So it's not that he cannot turn back to human, but he believes he hasn't descended low enough to be a human. This belief of Porco, I think we have to keep this in mind. In the Porco Rosso brochure, Miyazaki himself said, quote, "I imagine that the fascists back in the days have called communists Porco Rosso." I mean the fascists in Italy back in the days, right before World War II. I think they called communists Porco Rosso a red pig. Socialism, as a huge social experiment, has failed miserably. At that time, Porco was claiming, "I'm flying. I don't care if I'm alone." So I came up with an idea that he likes, Le Temps des Cerises, Paris Commune's song, end of quote. This was his comment in the brochure. So the title Porco Rosso, it was Miyazaki's imagination that the communists in Italy back in the days were insulted as red pigs. That's how he came up with the title. So we can see Porco not as a victim of a spell turning a human into a pig, but instead we can see him as some sort of metaphor of the communists. If we see him that way, Gina's line, "I wish I could release you from that spell," and Theo's line, "Can I kiss Porco to turn him back into a human?" These lines, they can all be translated into, "How can we make you give up some voodoo called communism and come to a wonderful world of capitalism, where we are all free and are given a right to prosper?" People involved in the student activism in Japan back in the 60s heard exactly the same thing from their family and lovers. If you find true love, you will wake up from your communism nightmare. The same pattern. If you find the truth, you will wake up. This suggestion to Porco that looks down on him, he can't stand it. Why don't they just fuck off? Who told you that people are better than pigs in the first place? So this is an interpretation of Porco Rosso, the character actually being a metaphor of communists. When the film was released, it was quite a rumor that Porco Rosso is actually a communist thing. So this is again the first level interpretation. But if you see the film as an autobiographical novel by Hayao Miyazaki, I don't want people to stop at that level. I mean, I think there is so much more. So let's go a little deeper into this topic. To begin with, Porco is a pig. But in the entire film, Porco Rosso, only the women care about the fact that Porco is a pig. Did you realize this? Piccolo, the mechanic, the guys who sell weapons and machine guns, the guys at the gas station which Porco often goes to, guys frankly asking Porco to give them cigarettes, none of them seem to even care about the fact that Porco is a pig. Mama Yuto gangs and pirate federations call him swine, but don't care why he's a pig. Even Curtis, who met him for the first time, says something like, I hear there's a pig who's pretty famous. But he won't dare ask, dude, why are you a pig? Because he just doesn't care. I told you that only women care, but actually there are also women who don't. Specifically, this is a scene where Porco attends Hotel Adriano after shooting down Mama Yuto planes. This girl says, Porco, tell us a war story. And Porco whispers his cool line, next time we're alone. Then the other girls watch him as he passes between these tables. So the scene depicts Porco as a ladies' man. Who these girls are is explained in a table discussion among Ghibli animators held after Porco Rosso was released. It was planned and organized by Animage and was on the issue that was published immediately after the film's release. The discussion was attended by female animators, including people writing backgrounds and those in charge of colors. They depicted those girls as Porco's groupies, who are like hookers. So the girls are referred to as prostitutes. Only men and prostitutes treat Porco equally as who he is. Ironically, it means they know he is a pig and they don't care, so they treat him as a human. Only Gina and Fio, they see Porco as a pig, a being lower than a human, so they want to pull him up to the human class. This irony, this ironic twist, you have to realize this to understand why Porco is a pig. Why can't Gina and Fio stand him being a pig? Why do they have to pull him up into the human realm? Why do men take him being a pig as granted, but not treat him like a pig? They treat him, Porco, as a human being. Okay, we have passed 40 minutes, so I'll do the rest of this topic in the second part. Then some small facts that can make you appreciate Porco Rosso 10 times more. Please fill in the questionnaire. In the second part, as I just mentioned, I'll talk about why Porco is a pig and the small facts. For next week,